Ralph Savelsberg, or Mad Physicist on Flickr, and even to my friends, not my parents quite, but we're at BrickFair, and this is one of the models that I brought over from the Netherlands. It's a U.S. Air Force Pave helicopter, which is a helicopter that is used for rescue missions. And it's a scale model. People who know my work will know that I build scale models primarily. And it has a couple of working features. I have a sliding door, which I can close, and it should pop in. There we go. And you see it has a refueling probe at the front and a radar and all kinds of equipment that allow it to fly at low altitudes and in bad weather. And one of the things I liked about it is the color scheme. I mean, nowadays they're all gray, but until about 2003, these helicopters were painted in a camouflage scheme called European 1. And that's a mixture of Lego dark green, olive green, and Lego dark bluish gray. And that was what attracted me to this. I thought that's going to really, just being able to build something in that color combination with parts collections that are somewhat limited, right? Especially the olive green. There aren't a lot of parts in olive green that are very useful for something like this. So being able to build a model where you can use those, that was cool. And I think it stands out a lot more on the table with its color. Ironically, the camouflage makes it stand out more than if it were just gray.
On the white tablecloth, the camouflage.
Yeah. And I went to town with the shape. There are these new slopes, or they've been out for a couple of years. So the 1x2 curved slope, and that has allowed me to make a much more rounded fuselage than I would have been able to do a couple of years ago. And so if you see it from the front, it does. I like studs on my models, so it's not completely smooth, but you can see the shaping of the fuselage, especially this bit. I put a lot of effort into making that nice and smooth, and it got nominated for Best Aircraft, which I think is pretty cool. Although I faced pretty stiff competition this year.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on that. So with a build like that, when you first start on that, kind of where do you start building from, and how does that work as you're working on the model?
With almost every model I build, I start with what I anticipate will be the most difficult part. Okay. And for a helicopter, that would typically be the cockpit section. So that's what I have another one like this. It's a Seahawk helicopter. That's a U.S. Navy helicopter. That's the one I built first, and that's all gray, and that's a lot easier than the camouflage. So I built that first, started with the cockpit, and then worked my way aft. And when that was done, I thought, ooh, I like this shape, and I can build it in another color as well. So this one was basically, much of it is a copy of a model that I already had, with the exception of some of the detail that differ from between the real helicopters. So yeah, cockpit, and then working my way aft. Sliding doors on this were a bit tricky, and the section where the cabin tapers just behind the sliding doors towards the tail, that was pretty tricky too. There's a lot of snot work there, and the color scheme obviously made things a bit harder as well.